Hello everybody, how's it going today? My name is Joe Bedogne and I'm a real estate agent. This video will be my follow-up video to my last video where I discussed the COVID-19 virus and how it affects the real estate industry. And in this video, I'm going to cover the listing side of how realtors are going about navigating this pandemic. So first and foremost, I think it's prudent to discuss what a listing agent typically does in most scenarios. First and foremost, we help provide an accurate valuation of your property. We give you the right appropriate value based on data and market research that we do as realtors. So I can provide you an accurate value on how to price your home. I still can do that under the current conditions. I will typically go into your house and prepare your listing and prepare your list ticket and get all the details physically being in your house and measurements and pictures and all that type of stuff. That's the one function that I'm not able to do right now as a realtor, but I can aid you in that, and I'm going to get into that shortly and how we go about doing that. From there, I can still look at offers and present you the offers. We can still do that. I can still help you negotiate those offers and provide advice and help negotiate with the other agents and the buyers. I'm still going to do that for you. I'm still going to be able to coordinate the information with the title company to make sure all the title work is in place and that you are in fact the legal owner of that house and you have the right to sell that house, because that's actually a very important part of the real estate industry and a lot of people don't realize that. Okay, I'm going to help coordinate the inspection with the buyer and make sure that that goes down properly and handle all the negotiations that come out of the inspection contingency. I'm going to work with the appraiser and to make sure the appraiser can still get in their house, in which they're allowed to per my last video. The appraisers are still allowed to go in your house under the stay-at-home order that we're under right now. So I'm still going to be able to negotiate with the appraiser and make sure that that stuff happens. I'm going to make sure that you have your seller disclosures filled out properly so you won't get sued and you have everything put in the right place. I'm going to be able to make sure that everything happens and get your house from the listing stage to the closing table. All those functions I can still do. And last but not least, which I always save it for last, because I think it's one of the most important functions, is I'm going to market your house, and I'm going to market your house well, because not only do I have access to the MLS that's put in front of every other buyer that's working with an agent within the state of Michigan, but also I have channels put in place that marketing channels. I have people I can call. I have a network. I have a sphere of influence, people that I can reach out to help market your home, where a lot of sellers that don't have those put in place have a harder time selling their house just using one particular website, which I won't mention any names. It starts with a Z. I mean, a lot of sellers will just put their house on that website and think that that's sufficient. I'm going to go way above and beyond that and be able to actually market your house where I'm going to actually help it sell. That being said, so obviously with the COVID-19 virus, per my last video, there's certain functions I'm not allowed to do, and that's face-to-face interaction with you. So how do we get around that? What's happening? And secondly, how is a buyer going to come into your house and look at your house if we're not allowed to do that during this pandemic? And that's a great question, and I'm going to get to that right now. So right now they're doing virtual showings, and I'm going to explain to you how that happens. Again, we're going to get into the setting up the listing side of it. In normal circumstances, I'm going to walk into your house. I'm going to take measurements. I'm going to look at the condition of your house. I'm going to give you suggestions. I'm going to say, hey, take those pictures off the wall over there. You might want to add some paint to this wall over here. You might want to move this couch over here. You might want to get rid of that clutter in the corner over there. I'm going to coach you in a normal circumstances as to what to do to stage your house and get it prepared to sell. I'm not going to be able to do that physically, so we're going to have to use some type of technology, whether it's FaceTime, if you're an Apple user. If you're not, there's other video conferencing software we can use where we can walk around the house and I can coach you in the same manner I would if I was physically there. The one heavy lifting thing that you as the seller are going to have to do that I'm not legally allowed to do during this stay-at-home order would be to actually take the photographs and actually take the measurements. In most cases, I like to take the measurements myself, and I don't rely on a previous list ticket that a previous realtor may have done, because I don't know how accurate that information is. And even looking at public records, sometimes the room dimensions is not accurate. So as your agent working with you, I'm going to have to ask you to go ahead and get measurements, or provide me with measurements at least, of your room sizes so I can put that on the MLS list ticket. Okay, I'm going to have to do that. And I can help you do that. I'm going to have to coach you through that. So once all that staging stuff happens, I'm going to be able to coach you. In normal circumstances, I'm going to go to the house and take the photos. Or in certain cases, depending on what I have worked out with the seller, sometimes we'll actually pay and have a professional photographer come in. Obviously, under the stay-at-home orders, we can't do that right now. So what I'm going to have to do, and believe it or not, your smartphone camera, whether it's an Apple or whether it's an Android, whatever it is, most cameras in 2020 are more than sufficient. They're actually pretty darn good cameras. I'm talking to you on an iPhone camera right now in this YouTube video. Okay, so the cameras are actually not that bad. What is the problem, though, is the angles, the lighting, and the position of things in a picture can make or break a listing photo. So I'm going to coach you through that, okay? And I'm going to have you take pictures of the kitchen and send me the pictures. I'm going to say, all right, try standing over here, try going at this angle, try closing the blinds, turn on the lighting over here, and by the way, make sure you move that coffee maker and take that photo of your family off the wall. I'm going to coach you that, and then you're going to get the picture and you're going to send it to me and say, okay, that's a perfect photo. And we're going to get photos of your house, and unfortunately, you're going to have to do that work because I'm not allowed to do it. But I'm going to coach you through that, and we're going to make sure that we have a proper listing presentation. Then the second thing I'm going to do is they're going to have you take video of the house. We're going to walk through the house like you're doing an actual walkthrough. So right now what we're doing is we're hosting what's called virtual showings. So the buyers that want to look at your house can click on a link and they can actually watch a video where you're going to go through and say, well, this is my family room. You're going to actually walk and get in detail in all the corners and nooks and crannies, because that's the stuff that the buyer is going to want to look at. Of course, you're trying to sell your house, so a lot of times in this scenario, you're not going to show the part of your house that isn't so good. And that's unfortunate. That is dishonest, but it's, not good. So there's going to be contingencies put in place where the buyer is still going to, before they sign the dotted line and actually buy the house, they're actually going to have a point in time whenever this pandemic's over where they're going to actually be able to look at the house before actually taking keys to that home. Okay, so there's going to be some level of checks and balances put in place to make sure that you're not pulling one over on the buyer. Me, as your agent representing you, I'm going to recommend trying to be as honest as you can about those photos, because realistically, misrepresenting the condition of the home is called hiding a defect, and that's actually highly illegal. I can get sued if I know about it, but if I don't know about it and you don't tell me about it, you can get sued. So me as your agent, I'm going to protect you to make sure you don't get sued. So there's going to be a little bit here and there when it comes to actually setting up those virtual showings. But what you're going to do is you're going to send me the video, you're going to send me the photos. I'm going to edit those photos. I'm going to go through the video. I'm going to make sure it's good. I'm going to upload that stuff to YouTube. Okay. Then the buyer will have an opportunity to schedule a virtual showing. They can click on your link and it'll send them to the YouTube video. They're going to be able to see this virtual showing. And then if they have any further questions about the house, unfortunately, as your listing agent, normally I'd be able to help coordinate this, but instead you're going to have a one-on-one with the actual buyer, and you're going to have to walk through, because they might say, hey, can you show me that furnace? Can I really look at the furnace? They're going to ask you to video and get up close and personal, because, if the buyer is making a decision to purchase their house, they might want to look at it in more detail. In my next video, when I talk about actually buying, I'm going to get into some of the contingencies put in place right now during the COVID-19 pandemic that will help the transaction and help protect everybody involved. But if you did get some value out of this video, please do me a favor, subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up. Have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it in the comments section. And also, if you are in the market to buy, sell, or invest in real estate within the state of Michigan, feel free to reach out to me at joerealdeals@gmail.com, and I'd be glad to get you started and answer any of your questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video where I'm going to talk about how buyers are navigating the COVID-19 pandemic.